In this photo story, I'm going to compare the British system of government with the system of government in the US. There are both similarities and differences between the American and the British political system. As Britain was and still is a constitutional monarchy, America made a system that based itself on federalism, equally disturbing power between the original 13 states. A written constitution formed the glue between three branches of power: the judicial and the executive. In Britain, there is in fact no written constitution, even though there is a constitution, consisting of several sources, and not only one like in the USA. The American Constitution is flexible as it has amendments added to it, making it possible to change as the time goes by. The first 10 amendments constitute what is called the Bill of Rights, and the American Constitution is one of the oldest written constitutions still in use. In Britain, one of the strongest components in the Constitution is convention, defending British law now as they have done before. To the political parties in the USA and Britain, there are two political parties dominating in government on both sides of the Atlantic, but especially in America. The American presidents come from the Democratic or the Republican Party, while in Britain, which has a multi-party system, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party are the only parties which have formed the government for the last 90 years. There is another similarity with regard to the legislative branch of government, Congress in America and Parliament in Britain. They are both bicameral, consisting of the House of Representatives and the Senate in the USA, and the House of Commons and the House of Lords in Britain. While both chambers are elected in America, it is only the House of Commons that is elected in Britain. You also have checks and balances. Checks and balances is a system that prevents one branch from being too powerful, and in this principle, it protects the minority from the majority. Moreover, the system regulates the branches, and one branch can limit the power of another. Separation of power is also to be found in Britain, but in a weaker form. Due to the ways the two systems of government are designed, the American president has more limitation to his power than the case of the British Prime Minister. A Democratic president might have a Republican majority in Congress, making it difficult for the president to get his political thoughts. In such a situation, Congress can vote down every suggestion from the president. In Britain, there is no systematic limitation of the prime minister's power, but a political room for maneuver depends on his party's majority in the House of Commons. Being elected president is a long and costly affair. Presidential candidates are nominated at the two parties' national conventions, and the different nominees fight it out in the presidential primaries to see who is going to represent the two parties in the actual president election. As opposed to America, the British Prime Minister is normally the leader of the political party he or she is representing. The Prime Minister is called first among equals, indicating that the Prime Minister needs to be elected to the House of Commons in general election just like his or her fellow members of the Parliament. In other words, a Prime Minister needs to be a member of the Parliament too.